The other day, I was sitting on my back porch, looking at my beautiful garden, and you know what I realized? I am missing running water in this beautiful space. So today I'm making a 2-tier fountain, and it's actually not going to be a full 100% fountain. It's going to be fountain plus plants, because on the top tier I'm planning to do a water fountain, and on the bottom a little planting bed, and it's going to be a table water fountain. A Hypertufa fountain is natural looking, rustic and perfect for my garden. It looks like stone, but it is lightweight and very DIY friendly. So for this project I would need 1.5 part Portland cement, not quickset cement. I'm using fiberglass fibers to prevent cracking and make my structure stronger. 1 part perlite and 1 part peat moss. Make sure you stay out of all those fumes, you wear gloves, you wear your mask. Cement can hurt your eyes and can hurt your hands, your skin. If you wear contact lenses, take those contact lenses off. I am looking for a mix that feels like cottage cheese. Moist, clumpy, and it holds together when I squeeze it in my hand. If it falls apart, I might add a splash of water. If it's soupy and runny, I will add a little bit of cement. I want it just wet enough to mold into the shape of the fountain without collapsing. I work it firmly and evenly. I'm trying to do 1.5 inches, preferably 2 inches of thickness, and I push it down with my palms and my fingers so it fits into every corner. I smooth the surface as I go. This way pressure compacts the mix and drives all the air pockets out. Since I don't have the second mold to press down my Hypertufa from the inside, I'm going to use stones, and you can use anything heavy. You can use sealed bags with water, with sand, bricks. All those options will work. They will press down the walls of Hypertufa and will prevent it from collapsing and caving in during curing. I really don't have a bigger shape mold in an oval shape. I want to have it in oval shape, and this is going to be the first tier of the fountain. So I'm going to go for sand mold. And sand molds are great because they let me shape curves freely. They're cheap, they're reusable. The piece lifts off easily once it cures. Well, the downside is that the shape isn't always precise. Well, it's fine with me. I like that rough shape. Edges can be slump if I don't pick them firmly, which I'm going to try to do my good job. And the surface will usually come out a bit rougher than with the plastic molds, but for that I have a trick. Second mix of Hypertufa. The legs are being formed. I'm packing it tight for those legs to go all the way through, and it is the base of my second layer, the layer where all the plants will go. The walls start running to the center a little bit, so to keep them where they're supposed to be, I'm going to use stones again. And it doesn't have to be a perfect job, but that stone, light stone pressure would be just enough to make sure that my Hypertufa sets in the shape I want it to set. Now the waiting time begins. Hypertufa is going to be in this position for 24 hours. I'm going to come back tomorrow for this project. Da-da-da, here we go. Stones are out. Hypertufa is just hardened enough to keep shape and soft enough for me to do any changes to the construction. For example, I know that at the bottom Hypertufa is going to have a lot of stones and sand infused together with the wall of Hypertufa, so my job right now is to clean it all, scrub it out, make sure that there is no sand left, and my Hypertufa is looking nice and fancy. Those 4 legs hopefully they will keep the whole weight of Hypertufa. Maybe I should have gone for a heavier legs. We will see. I think they should be enough. The interior of Hypertufa is very shiny. I don't worry about that because it's going to be covered with soil. But I want to make sure that my Hypertufa edges are looking nice and rustic. So now is the time, 24 hours after Hypertufa cured, it's a good window to do any changes to the surface of the bowl. I have no idea where we are going to end up with this project, but it looks good. Well, the plan is, this is the first level, right? And this is the second level, and it's going to be something like this. I'm not sure what I'm going to put here to elevate it, since this is going to be quite a heavy construction with all the water filling the top. Well, let's see. First of all, we need drainage here. Holes are made. I think my Hypertufa is ready to be cured. And this step cannot be really overlooked with containers which we want to use outside, because the longer the cement mix cures, the more durable it is. So at least 48 hours. But the best case scenario is to put your wet Hypertufa somewhere in an airtight container in a damp corner and let it sit, let it overwinter there. Well, maybe not in an airtight container, but just put it somewhere through the winter, through the wet days of winter, and let it slowly cure for several months. Then you will get the best durability out of these things. Oh boy, they are heavy. But imagine pure cement. It would be the weight of it would be difficult to manage. So adding all the additives and making it Hypertufa looks interesting, and it's not as heavy. So let me put my Hypertufa into an airtight bag and cure it for maybe a day or 48 hours, and then we will take a look at it. Very interesting. Two different colors. How come? And this one is almost dry. You know what the difference between these two bowls are? The mix was the same, but they were curing overnight in different containers. This was in sand mold and this one in plastic mold. So maybe the excess of air from the sand dried up this super fast, and this one is not dry yet. Well, I don't know. Let's put it on the grass, on the sun, let it finish drying, and then I will apply the protective surface sprays here. My Hypertufa is bone dry and still it has different color. Interesting. The way the cement dries has an influence on its color later. Well, I like this color better, and this color is very offensive for a good life in the garden, so I'm going to change it with the help of my cement stain. And you can add the stain, not this one. There are stains which can be added directly into the mix, cement mix, while mixing it. I prefer to do this because I want to see the result, and I like to add extra paints on top to make it kind of aged looking. So I'm cheating. I don't want to wait for Hypertufa to change its color and be like this in the garden. This is offensive. So I am going to use this stain. I bought it in antique gray. Probably a mistake to buy such a big gallon antique gray, because now I'm thinking maybe brownish color, rustic color would be better. But hey, for that I'm going to fix that mistake. I'm going to use my paints, and then I will seal it for the paints not to run. And I'm using it directly from, let me shake it well. See the sediment at the bottom? I have to shake it quite vigorously. Oh, hi Peter! And I just apply it. What I like about this stain is there is actually a chemical reaction which is happening between cement and the stain. So the changes, you see, you can start to see it here, how it becomes darker, like aged looking. The changes are permanent. Once it's done, it's done. It's not going to be washed out. I'm going to do it once, and the longer I keep the stain on my Hypertufa, the darker Hypertufa will become. I don't want it to get too dark. I want to have nice brownish colors present, and maybe a little likings, well, fake likings with the help of white paint. So I'm going to keep it maybe for several hours, and then I will wash it off here on my patio. I don't want to wash it on the grass because this is acid, so I will wash it off here into the bricks where nothing is growing underneath. You know, I wish I would be a cool artist who knows how to paint rocks, and they look like rocks on the painting, right? I was trying to imitate this beautiful patina and colors on this rock, and with this and this looks artificial a little bit. What can you do? Well, you know what? There is always space to improve with my next Hypertufa project. And this time I'm going to look on YouTube and study, because YouTube is endless resource platform where you can learn whatever you need. And hopefully I will do better imitation of stone. So I was thinking about it, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use soil, we'll soil it, and here on the side of my garden, of my house, I have moss growing. So I will try to transplant it here. Although moss doesn't like inhospitable dry environments, and Hypertufa is very dry. But I covered all these crevices with my protective waterproof layer, cement waterproofing liquid, and hopefully my Hypertufa will be less prone to evaporation or to losing water here. And this one, look at this. The interior of my water fountain I made dark, kind of to imitate the bottom of the pond, because my water fountain is black and I didn't want to have that difference with a lighter background and dark fountain. I want that fountain to disappear and look the most natural. So 3 layers of waterproofing went here, and let's see how it goes. I made it a little bit greenish. Also not the best imitation of the pond bottom. Well, that's the best what I can do, so let's enjoy it. Is this going to leak or not? Well, let's try it and see how it goes. If it's leaking, I will see it not right away. So let's test my water fountain here. It's going to float around, so I need to position it in the middle. This water fountain came from Amazon, and I went with the cheapest one, and it does do all the jobs which more expensive water fountains are doing, so there's no reason to spend extra money. By the way, I'm putting all the supplies underneath in the description under this video. So this water fountain has legs and they're white. Not the best choice. So I have to find out how I can support this water fountain without it moving around, because I don't want the water fountain to spill water out. And also I was testing different heads here for water. And this looks like the most natural one. All other water heads, this actually without no water head at all. All other water heads are creating this slightly artificial sound, and I'm thinking that birds would be afraid of it. But here you hear this natural water bubbling. So I'm not using any of those additions, just one water fountain and let it spit water. And right now it's morning, we have morning sun, so water fountain is not active. But soon it's going to work. And let's see if birds would be interested in this contraption. So this, let's see how, so far so good. No water underneath here. So the plan is to put plants here. And I'm planning to store this water fountain for winter in the garage. It's not going to be outside. So right now I cannot really use the plants. Just, I'm going to use plants for what? For a month, and that's it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to plant eternal ajugas, which are multiplying in my garden a mile a minute. And the question is, I'm not sure which one to use. I have 2 varieties, darker ones and brighter ones. And I was thinking that at the beginning I was voting for the variegated variety, but you know what? Together with this, well, so-called variegation, changes of color, and this, it's going to be looking too busy, so I decided to go with a darker one, which I have plenty of. So I will make it nice and tight, and I will enjoy my ajuga for the rest of the season, although my garden is moving fast into the autumn season. I see leaves, I see yellowing of my rose leaves, the trees are starting to drop leaves, so autumn is here. Well, still, my ajuga will extend the season. really love the sound of water. The presence of that running noise is very alluring to our human ear. And I know birds love it. Birds are always around running water. When I put sprinklers in the garden, birds come immediately and they just enjoy not being in the water, but near the water. So let's see how this water fountain performs in the garden. Maybe birds would like it, and I will move it between my back porch and here the back table where we have dinners, and listen to that music. In our world where everybody are busy running around, this is very calming. And if you can't do anything like this, you can just have a nice vintage looking bowl, a little fountain from Amazon, and you're good to go. That presence of water, maybe even in the house during cold winter days, this echo of spring to come. Love it. Happy gardening.